welcome to Rocky Mount Prep. We are delighted to be here and have got some great news to share with you. I want to introduce our guests first, Dr. Shante Garrett, the superintendent of Rocky Mount Prep, and Dr. Evan Duff, who is the president of North Carolina Wesleyan College. And Dr. Garrett, and I just to put it, let you go ahead right now. I have been on the board here for Rocky Mount Prep for a number of years, and so have seen increased excitement, increased partnerships to create wonderful opportunities for students. And it has just gotten to the point that so much is happening that we want to share it with you. And of course, this is the time when you can sign up for your child or your children to come here free as a charter school, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll put on the screen how they can do that, where they can look into it. But it's a lottery system, and you are taking applications for new students right now, right?
We certainly are. We have spots available in grades K through 9. You can still apply in grades 10 and 11. And as spots become available, then we open up the lottery for those as well. But we are a free public charter school. And that's been our goal over the last several years, is to make sure that we increased opportunities for the scholars that we serve, no matter what may be impacting their lives, cultivating their interest, and making sure that they're prepared to embrace and engage whatever the future may hold, because we know it changes very rapidly.
It does, and y'all have done a wonderful job, the virtual.
Yes.
Kids are back in school now, but virtually you've gotten great feedback. There have been lots of support for the kids, not only educationally, but just really staying in touch with them and really looking after them.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Our teachers did an amazing job delivering virtual instruction. You know, we made a commitment that they were going to get live instruction every single day. And so our teachers made the adjustment. And so with engaging our scholars, making sure that they had the necessary tools that they needed. So we sent all school supplies home. So that wouldn't be an issue when it came to
laptops too.
Absolutely. We made the commitment to go one-to-one. So now every Rocky Mount Prep scholar has a device to use to help support not just their schoolwork and meeting those standards, but also getting those additional experiences and exposures that come when you have access to adequate technology. And so not just the devices, but also the hotspots. We were able to secure hotspots and send those out to families that needed them as well. And our teachers have innovated all types of opportunities. Our scholars have been on virtual field trips over to North Carolina Wesleyan to see the art museum. They are participating in what we call the College and Career Academy, where they host professionals from Nash Community College on various careers. So we have a number of things that not only help our scholars meet standards, but also help them attach the necessary experiences and exposures to go well beyond. And we're excited for all the new things we have coming that continue us on that trajectory.
I'll tell you, one of the things I heard most when I first came on your board is parents choose this place because the closeness, the smaller classes, they wear uniforms, there are no problems with safety and security. The parents feel their kids are very safe here. All the teachers know the names of the kids, and they really, like you're talking about, she was telling us earlier, they are her kids, right? Her students, and call them all scholars because there's a encouragement for everybody to succeed.
Yes, absolutely. And we do. We love the fact that we can serve families. So scholars can start with us at grades kindergarten, and they can stay with us up until they prepare to graduate, even with the extended opportunities that we're going to offer through our dual enrollment. And so we do get to know our families very well and very intimately, and that helps us support whatever, life happens. So we are able to come alongside of our families and partner with our families and remain family throughout their entire educational process.
Well, let's talk about what the school is doing with North Carolina Wesleyan. You're right across the street, so it's very convenient. And I have heard that your students have worked with them with tutoring kids here. But Dr. Garrett, kind of intro and let's get a conversation going here about what the new opportunities are.
Yes, and so, and I guess Dr. Duff and I work all the time because I think we started some emails over a break, and here we are several months later, dual partnering on a SROTC program in which Rocky Mount Prep scholars will be able to participate, not only by way of taking the classes at North Carolina Wesleyan that will prepare them on what we are calling our military science or military excellence track at Rocky Mount Prep, but also participating in the lab, the military lab, where they will be able to go and on Thursdays, I believe it is, and participate in the military drills and things in Raleigh with students, college students, as well as other high school students from various locations. So the experiences and the exposures that they're going to get by way of this partnership, we are so extremely grateful, as well as the fact that we are developing ourselves into what we call a college and career preparatory academy. Okay. And so our goal is to make sure that our scholars don't just graduate and don't just complete their K-12 education, but they are attached to their next college and career opportunity and well advanced in it. And so when our scholars finish the dual enrollment with North Carolina Wesleyan for the SROTC, they'll be eligible to be officers in the military. And that's a whole other level.
When they graduate from high school?
When they graduate from high school.
What attracted you to participate in this with the North Carolina Wesleyan?
Well, I would say it was probably a year and a half ago, Dr. Garrett and I met at a community event, and I knew right away that she was a visionary and someone who really cared about her community and of course, Rocky Mount Prep. And so I think I connected with her that evening and said, we're right beside each other. We should be communicating more and doing more together. And so we, through a series of email and face-to-face conversations, we discussed several ideas. And one idea that came forward was about the ROTC program and how students who are interested in that potentially after they graduate from Rocky Mount Prep, how can they continue that at the collegiate level or potentially go directly into service? And we have a wonderful staff member, Lieutenant Colonel Mercer, who is known in the community and actually has worked with the high schools prior to becoming a staff member with us, who has done such a great job of growing our ROTC program. We are actually commissioning 6 officers this Saturday, which is the largest group of students that we are commissioning that we've seen in maybe ever.
Wow.
And so he is going to provide an opportunity for the Rocky Mount Prep students to come over and be mentored, big brother, big sister style with our students, work out with them, train with them. I will go ahead and warn you that he is tough. They run at 6:30 in the morning. But he will prepare them both mentally and physically for that next step. And so,
and I had sons, I can tell you. I guess it's for women too, right?
Absolutely. Some of our top cadets are women.
But I don't know many kids who can't benefit from that, that discipline.
Absolutely.
I mean, excellent.
And he's such a great mentor, and our students will be great mentors. And then our partnership through ROTC is with St. Augustine's University. And so that's when they'll get to travel to Raleigh, and they'll be on that college campus, and they'll be exposed to other college students other than just Wesleyan. So it's a great opportunity, and we were excited to make that happen. Our provost, Dr. Wyatt, Lieutenant Colonel Mercer, and Lieutenant Colonel Bynum, who is at St. Augustine's, all came together, and they worked it out. They made it easy for me. They did all the details, and we're looking forward to implementing that.
Dr. Duff, you've been an educator for a long time. How do you see this impacting high school students to be able to avail an opportunity like that to them while they're still in high school?
Yeah, I think that this community knows and has known for a long time that you have to create relationships from kindergarten to college. And you need to foster that mentality while, from day one, not just when they're a junior or senior in high school. And what is so unique about Nash County, in my opinion, is that you have schools like Rocky Mount Prep, you have schools like Nash Community College, you have schools like Wesleyan who are not competing. They are actually partnering, and they're coming together, and they're creating unity, and for the sole purpose of the students. We want our students to be successful, whether that means getting a job right after high school, whether that means going and getting technical skills from the community college or a 2-year degree, or if that means getting a 4-year formal degree or a master's degree. We have 2 master's degree programs now on
What
campus.
are they?
We have a master's of criminal justice, and we have a master's of business administration.
Wonderful.
So we really can serve the students in this area from birth to career. And so I'm just so excited and energized to be a part of a community that has those opportunities and leaders that work together.
And to expose them to a college, whether it's to go straight into the military or get started and say, okay, I want to keep going with this. And Wesleyan has always been very helpful financially for kids who might be first generation going to college, or the economy is such that they might need help. But you make Wesleyan affordable, don't you?
We do. We have several financial options and internal grants. We have donors who've stepped up and created endowed scholarships. Most of our students are first generation. Many of them come from a lower socioeconomic status, but college is still attainable for them, and we make it affordable through these scholarships, internal grants. We're thankful for the state government, North Carolina, who's allowed some need-based grants to go to private institutions. And so many of our students, when they graduate, have no more debt than if you went to a state institution. And they get that one-on-one attention with faculty members. They have a small community environment. And so I think the students that come to Rocky Mount Prep, they have that here, and they see their faculty and staff as family, and we can provide that exact same experience at Wesleyan.
I think this is wonderful. I mean, Dr. Garrett, to have crafted this, and who gets to go into it? Like, does the student have to qualify?
Right. So we'll make sure that our scholars have a certain GPA. We've met and as well as recommendations, right? Because this is all part of the preparation process. So when we are building ourselves out as a college and career academy, preparation doesn't just start at the point in time where I decide I want to take classes at North Carolina Wesleyan to go into military science or the other classes that are being offered. We are starting that preparation actually at kindergarten, where we are beginning to introduce and expose our scholars to various careers and what those skill sets will be from a STEM perspective, but also continuing through our partnership with Nash Community College, where they'll get to meet professionals within those various careers right here in this community. Because part of this is also helping our scholars understand that success can happen right here in Nash County in Eastern North Carolina. You don't have to move away. You can be a part of the growth and the opportunities that are happening right here. And that's by connecting them with the adults that are doing that work right now.
Already here, right across
Already
the street,
here.
right?
That's
Couldn't be better. Well,
And so that's where we're also bringing the Avid program to Rocky Mount Prep.
Well, and we're going to let you talk about that when Dr.
Sounds like a plan.
joins us. But thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And gosh, we appreciate all you're doing for our
Thank you.
scholars.
Well, we appreciate you as well, because also, we are very scholar driven. And so our scholars are learning the art of advocacy. And so one of the things that has happened in this process is I had a scholar said, Dr. Garrett, she sent me an email. We were still in remote learning. Are we bringing ROTC? I want to be able to do it. And I said, baby, hold on. It's coming. We're working on it right now. And so she kind of checks in with me, or I can check in with her. So every conversation with Dr. Duff or with Dr. Wyatt said, we're just a little bit closer. And now we're able to say, sign up.
Great.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Dr. Shante Garrett, the superintendent of Rocky Mount Prep. stayed with us, of course. And we have got Dr. Lou Honeycutt, who is the president of Nash Community College.
Yes, ma'am.
And we alluded to some of the things going on between you and Prep, but and I want to mention one of the reasons we want to not only tell you about the great things happening at Rocky Mount Prep with the Career Academy and College and Career Academy and ROTC and all those things, but it's free. It's a charter school. It's a free public school, and right now they are taking names for kids, for students who want to come here. So pay attention, and we will tell you how to do that if anything you hear is something you want to in fact, get more information about. But Dr. Honeycutt, you have heeded the call
Absolutely.
from Dr. Garrett, and in fact, you are already helping expose young people to careers, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. To kind of backtrack a little bit, we would be nowhere without partnerships at NCC and at Nash Community College, and we partner with North Carolina Wesleyan, your previous guest, and we certainly partner with Rocky Mount Prep. And this started last February of 2020. One of our last pre-COVID meetings was in person, a counselors roundtable. And in it, I was a new president. I started November 1st of 2019 by way of Texas and Georgia, so I'm an outsider to the state, but I love North Carolina.
Still from the South.
Still from the South, that's right. Well, I spoke to the counselors about a program we did in Texas where we engaged third graders. And the reason we engaged third graders is by that age, they have determined what their genius zone is. We define that as aptitude and intellect.
Okay.
And for us to think that anymore, the idea is just, I want to be a fireman, which some do, but some want to be astrophysicists, some want to be whatever. They've really developed these ideas by third grade. And so we developed a program in Texas where we began to brand these students as our college in third grade. We gave them stickers, we talked to them, we mentored, we did all kinds of things. Because too many times between third grade and 12th grade, something changes their mind. And it's sometimes it's peer pressure, sometimes it's parental pressure. But we wanted to keep these folks on track, these kids, and it was very successful. So I outlined that program at this meeting. This young lady walked up to me afterwards and said, "We're in. Tell me what we can do." And we were at the time, we were just getting a new superintendent at Rocky Mount or at Nash County Public Schools. And so I didn't know how I was going to implement this around the county. Well, here was my end. So I said, let's get together and do it. Well, she hounded me until I met with her. I mean, she's good. And we met together and said, and Dr. Garrett said, how can we start this program? So we began a pilot program with Rocky Mount Prep to start this engagement process. We'll always recruit 12th grade down, but we've got to start recruiting third grade up.
Oh, absolutely. And plant those seeds young.
Plant the seeds. That's exactly it. And it's also a way that I'm a community college person. I support the 4-year programs, and we want to always send our teachers and nurses and doctors and lawyers through 4 year. But we have so many careers in a year, careers in 6 months, that not everyone needs to go to school forever. My father used to tell me that I had more degrees than a thermometer. And not everybody needs that.
Right.
And so we have so many great skills-based programs, and we all know that in North Carolina with My Future NC, across the country, but specifically because I'm in North Carolina, we have a skills deficit here. And so while we do need doctors and lawyers and teachers and all those, we also need bricklayers and electricians and plumbers desperately. And so what we want to do with our program is keep these kiddos on track to where if diesel mechanics is your passion, and you already know that as a third grader, let's do everything we can to get you to be a diesel mechanic. And the way we convince parents of this later on is to say, let them be a diesel mechanic for 20 years, then they can go back to school and do whatever they want. So we're really committed at Nash to do whatever the student needs. When you walk on my campus, you're a student, and it's whatever your need is that we're going to try to fill. We work very closely with North Carolina Wesleyan for those who want to go on. And Dr. Duff and I are committed to finding a great pathway that's financially viable for a student to be in a third grade program anywhere in the county and eventually end up at North Carolina Wesleyan. So partnerships are so critically important. We clicked immediately. The passion, we have the same passion for students, and Dr. Garrett knows, and I know, and Dr. Duff knows, we change lives every day.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is why I'm where I am and enjoying doing it so much.
Well, now, tell us about the introduction to careers that you are already doing, Dr. Garrett.
Absolutely. So we've met several times this summer. Our team from Rocky Mount Prep, starting with our 4th grade team and our high school counselor, and they met with the team from Nash Community College and outlined what this program would look like, from everything from what topic they would explore every week, potential readings that have been purchased, and other types of activities that come along with the community professional that will be presented to the scholars at the end of the week. So at that point in time, we didn't know we were going to still be living remotely or semi-remotely at that point in time. So we planned it as though it was going to be face-to-face, and we would have these professionals throughout the hallways on Fridays. And lo and behold, we remain remote. And so now they jump on a Zoom with all of 4th grade and any other scholars that want to participate as well. And we do it before we do our community circle. So last week it was a chef. And so the request I got during Head of School Hangout on Sunday was, okay, so we know that when we get a chance, we have to do field trips now. Field trips have to go along with the as they are meeting these professionals, because they were just, enamored by the chef that came this Friday to participate. But they prepare all week to meet these professionals, right? And so our teachers are working to make sure that the instruction is aligned to whatever profession is being highlighted that week. And when I tell you, our scholars are so excited and ask the best questions. Good. They do. They ask some of the best questions. And it's always good when you see the professionals stop and just take a breath, and it's like, whoa. So it's been amazing, and I connect that to, what will happen when they get to middle school and high school, because these seeds have been planted now, and what they're going to be holding on to as they matriculate through high school and begin preparing, because these seeds have been planted now.
Well, and I want to be sure we cover everything y'all are doing. So let's also talk about that they can get community college credit.
Right.
How is that program
So
set up?
We're communicating that as our college and career credit track. And so
Much like the early college that people have heard of in Nash County School.
Right. So we have an early college track, thank you, an early college track where our counselors have worked to frame what courses our scholars will need to take to complete an associate's degree with Nash Community College. And we have scholars who can sign up for that, to be a part of that. And they also, too, have to maintain a specific GPA, and will also have to be recommended to participate when it gets time for the junior year. That is a very rigorous track. One of the things that is different about us on the early college track versus what we traditionally know about early college is our program will be a 4-year college, a 4-year program where at the end we are positioning their courses so that when they graduate, they are also finishing with their associate's degree without the additional year.
Wonderful.
So it is a rigorous track, but we have scholars that said, I want to be a nurse. This is what this is the track I want to be on, right? So it's appropriate for some scholars. And then we also have the college and career credit track where we enroll our scholars in the college and career promise program, and where they may not finish with an associate's degree, but they still begin earning credits towards their whatever their specific interests are. And Nash Community College's provides us with 4 pathways for those credits.
Do they go to Nash Community College?
Yes.
We do host the classes, and it's part of that partnership. And the best news about it, I'm not so big on everything being free, but these in particular are free.
Free.
So to finish your first 2 years, if you're going to transfer to Wesleyan or wherever else you're going to transfer, that's pretty incredible to be able to do that in Nash County. Our ultimate goal is to start you off in elementary, have you finish at Wesleyan in Nash County, because we all know I left my home county in Texas to go to college. I never went back. Many of our young people leave and don't see opportunities to come back. If we keep them here for whatever their completion is, if it's a certificate or an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, we're going to more than likely keep them in the county.
Boy, I like
That's our
that.
And we, and to take the barrier away, we actually bus our scholars to Nash Community College for.
You provide the transportation.
We provide the transportation. And so they're on a schedule, and on that schedule, they jump on the bus and we take them over to the campus, and that's when that's how they take their courses.
And I've heard there have always been a waiting list for early college in Nash County, so this is another way that people can do.
Yep.
We are closely running out of time, but Avid. Tell us about Avid. I think that's
Avid,
a super program.
Yes, we are really excited. We want to do Avid for several years, and we are using our funds currently to be able to provide Avid, and we've purchased it for several years. Yes. Avid is really a way of doing school that provides scholars and students, it's a national program, with those college-going skills and develops those college-going behaviors. Everything from reading to writing, how we process information, how we express ourselves, advocacy, all of those pieces go into developing our young people into college students as they are matriculating through school. So we will begin Avid actually in the 3rd grade. Our elementary scholars will experience Avid. Our middle school scholars will have an Avid class, and so will our high school scholars, but all of our teachers are being trained in Avid. So they're getting Avid strategies in every single classroom.
And it's quite an investment.
It is.
But if you look at the data for schools that have it, it is just a massive home run for the scholars, isn't it?
Absolutely. And
were you familiar with it, Dr. Honeycutt?
I was not until I got to North Carolina, but Nash Community College is also an Avid school.
Oh, good.
So we do the same kind of training. And, the teachers that have been through it, the instructors have spoke volumes about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really excited.
And so every child has the opportunity to participate in it, right?
Yes.
Starting in the 3rd grade.
Starting in the 3rd grade, they will receive Avid either by way of classroom strategies or by actually taking an Avid class.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've given a lot of information. If people want to know more, what can they do, Dr. Garrett?
If people want to know more, please visit our website, rmprep.org. Our application is there. If you want to know more, please feel free to email myself. We have directors of instruction and deans of culture, as well as our communications director, and we will gladly share whatever please email us, and we will gladly share any information.
Let's cut that,
okay?
Because I don't want you. How do you want to come back to that? Because she was kind of stumbling, and
I'll put the website up.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, let's do that because I don't want you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so.
So I'm going to ask you again if people want
Just
more
visit our
information,
website.
and just take that from the top.
Sure.
Okay. Dr. Garrett, everybody's excited. I mean, what opportunities. The whole school is just offering great opportunities. If people are interested, what should they do?
Sure. If you are interested in Rocky Mount Prep, we welcome you. Please visit our website, rmprep.org. Our application is there. And also, please feel free to give us a call at the school, 252-443-9923, and we will gladly assist you and look forward to connecting with you.
And you've got you've got openings now, so people watching can, but the sooner the better.
The sooner the better. The sooner the better, because we are accepting applications and we are seating on a rolling basis. And so we want to make sure that everybody that is interested, especially in these new opportunities, has every chance to take advantage of them.
Well, and the opportunities that with Nash Community College and North Carolina Wesleyan that are available and now are just phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
And this, if y'all hadn't heard, Bob Malden, who was with RBC Centura and just a wonderful local businessman. This school was his dream, and he started it, and it's one of the largest in the state and one of the first charter schools.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? And his dream, he would love knowing what you're doing. His dream was to provide new experiences to help kids and help orient them toward colleges and career that they could go ahead and lock into. So you're doing exactly what he wanted.
Well, and that's great to hear. We appreciate it. We've been celebrating the legacy legacy of Mr. Malden this year in various ways. We have his picture in the front office of our school because it is making sure that we are fulfilling that mission and that vision for this area. And so it's exciting to be able to do it in such a concrete and meaningful and impactful way.
Great way to end. Thank you, Dr. Garrett.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you.
Honeycutt. Have a great day.